Oh yeah, peeling out. It's got almost 200 foot-pounds of torque, and I'm not even pressing it down to the floor. I don't want to do that. It's a brand new car, but it's got a lot of get up and go. It's got a lot of juice there. That's impressive. Hey guys, it's Elias. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today, as you can see, I'm very excited because I'm driving a brand new 2019 Honda Insight. It's right there and I think it's so cool. I know it's a hybrid, but I think that car is the best car for anybody that's commuting. It's just the best. So let's go for a drive. Let's go over and see why I think it really is the best car for a commuter, the best value for the money for a car that you can buy today. Here we go, guys. We're driving the brand new 2019 Honda Insight. I think this is a big deal, and I'll tell you why. So I think that this Insight is going to outsell pretty much every car that Honda makes. And the reason I think that is because this just has everything you'd want from a car that you're commuting in, or that you're using to drive long distances or even short distances every day, you know, in and out, in and out. You want something reliable, semi-fun, good on gas, and boy, is this good on gas. Not slow, and this is not slow. This has it all. This really does have it all. So let's start first with the exterior. I mean, this car has, I think this car is the best looking Honda that is made right now. And that's a lot to say. I mean, I have a Type R. I think the Type R looks great, but I think this car looks just the best. Just the best. I think it's subdued in the right ways and not subdued in other ways. Man, it's fun to drive too, this thing. It's amazing. It's not fast, but it's fun to drive. As I was saying, the exterior of the car is just, I think, the best part of owning this thing. You drive it, it looks like a normal car because it drives like a normal car because it should be like a normal car. And you drive it around, it's an attractive looking car. It's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna set the world on fire with its looks or anything like that. It's not a Lamborghini Diablo or something crazy like that. But I think it really does look really good. I mean, it looks like a Civic should look. In my opinion, I think Honda should have made this exactly what the Civic looks like. I mean, I think the current Civic looks a little bit weird. It's very polarizing. I'm a fan of the way the Civic looks, but a lot of people aren't. I'd be hard pressed to find anybody that thinks this car looks bad in any angle. I think the back looks great, the front looks amazing. It just looks and feels great. Now, when I first saw this car at the New York Auto Show, in case you missed it, go ahead and watch that video that I made of this car. I thought this was gonna be like a $30,000 or $35,000 car because it's a hybrid. It's got some crazy engine technology. It's gonna be like $30,000. No one's gonna buy it because it's too expensive. You know, that's what I thought hybrid technology is. Man, I couldn't be any more wrong. I really couldn't. This car we're sitting in right now is $22,000 MSRP. $22,000. Now this is the 2019, I was going to say Civic, but it is an Insight, 2019 Insight Hybrid. The reason I keep trying to say it's a Civic is because it really feels like a Civic. It is a Civic inside. It's based off the Civic. It has a Civic steering wheel. It's got a Civic everything. It's basically a Civic with a bunch of Accord things added on, and it's a hybrid. Think of this as a Civic hybrid. It really is a Civic hybrid with a fancy name and a much better looking fascia than the Civic. Man, the way it drives and handles these corners, you could tell it's got Civic DNA in it. Civics have always been known to drive very well. It just feels exactly like a Civic should. It doesn't feel too heavy. It doesn't feel too crazy. We're going 60 miles an hour. Yeah, the engine's kind of loud right now because the batteries haven't had a chance to really charge up yet. So the engine is used as a generator. So the way the drive system works is kind of funny. So there's an engine that powers a generator, and the generator that feeds juice or power or electricity to a electric motor. Now, you could use the electric motor by itself. You have an EV mode. There is a sport mode, and the car gets much more aggressive with the sport mode. I'll turn that off for now. There's also an econ mode, and it gives you an even better miles to the gallon and a better range. It does sometimes use the engine to power the motor together. It kind of has a coupling where it couples up the engine to the electric motor, and it'll run both together. But for the most part, the engine is just powering a generator that powers an electric motor. It's really cool how they do that. It's pretty novel, but as you're driving along, it really doesn't feel like anything. It doesn't feel like you're driving a hybrid. It feels like you're driving a normal car. You know, unless you really hear the engine. If you have your tunes going, or even the air conditioner, I have the air conditioner on. It is extremely hot today. And unless you have any of these things off, you don't really hear the engine going, so you don't really know what's going on. It drives like a normal car. You put your foot down a lot, and it goes down faster. It goes forward faster. If you accelerate slowly, it'll accelerate slower. And it just amazes me how much technology and engineering went into this car. You know, that's why I thought it was going to be a $35,000 car. The fact that it's only $23,000 for a Civic, I keep saying Civic, for an Insight LX, it's just insane to me. This is a lot of car for the money. A lot of car for the money. And it even has the Civic's very famous Easter egg. That's how you know it's a Civic. This is why I keep calling it a Civic. Very cool, very cool. So we're in sport mode right now. We're gonna turn around. This really drives really well. I'm so impressed. You know, I don't like hybrids usually because they feel like hybrids. They feel like you're in a penalty box. This does not feel like a penalty box, even though I'm in the cheapest trim level of this car. It feels like I'm in a proper, sporty little sedan. Oh yeah, peeling out. It's got almost 200 foot-pounds of torque, and I'm not even pressing it down to the floor. I don't want to do that. It's a brand new car, but it's got a lot of get up and go. It's got a lot of juice there. That's impressive. That in itself is very impressive. This car gets out of its own way really quickly. And the fact that it can get up to 55 miles to the gallon, to me, that's so impressive. So, in case you guys notice, this does have paddle shifters, and that's to control. You can control your deceleration here. So if you press the left pedal, you'll decelerate quicker using the engine's regenerative technology. So you'll actually use the engine generator to slow you down quicker, and it'll actually recharge the batteries much quicker. That's the maximum it'll recharge. That's just really cool. So if you drive this properly, if you actually are active in driving this properly, you can probably get even better than 55 miles to the gallon. That's just so cool. Of course, you got the different gauges here. You could do, warnings, settings, driver attention, driving support, traffics, speed, time, range, and fuel. Let's do power flow. So as I'm sitting here, these seats are just so good. The fabric is so much better than the fabric found in the other Civic, the lower end Civics. It actually kind of reminds me of the fabric of the Civic Type R seat. It's not quite as good as the Civic Type R fabric, but man, is it good. Let's go ahead and see if we can get into a little trouble here. It really gets out of its own way quickly. It's not a slow car. It's not a slow car. This is why I think the hybrid technology has found its way. I mean, this is just, I am really impressed. Really impressed. But anyways, I was saying, the materials in here are really good. They're soft touch materials. Pretty much everywhere you touch, there's a place to put your phone that it charges it for you. Everything else is pretty low rent, Civic stuff, which is actually not bad considering. It's actually not bad at all. I love the steering wheel. I do like the design of the steering wheel. I think it's a very good design. I've liked these new Honda designs for a while now. And yeah, as I was saying, these seats are super comfortable. I mean, this fabric is what they should have been using in all the Civic fabrics. So I remember the Civic Sport hatch had very scratchy, not very good seats. These seats are so much better, it's ridiculous. And in the EX version, they're even heated. So you get heated seats, you get keyless entry and all that good stuff. This LX does not have keyless entry. You have to unlock the car with the fob and then you can open it. So I guess that is keyless, but it doesn't have the access things where you could put your hand on the handle. Not a big deal, but you know, it's something to keep in mind. And I'll put it back in regular mode. I'm going to use the engine regenerative braking, and it's regenerating more, so it's doing its engine braking a lot more, and it's charging up the batteries for me. This is great. Oh, this is awesome. God, I kind of want this car too now. This thing is really cool. The technology in here is really cool. Otherwise, this car drives as a Civic should. It's very fun. It's very engaging. I can totally see myself taking this out on a racetrack and just having fun with it. It won't be competitive, that's for sure. It's not gonna be. This is not a competitive car. Like I keep saying, it's slow, but not that slow. It really isn't that slow. It'll get out of its own way quickly. See, I have a ton of traffic coming, but I have a little time, so I give it a little go gas, go juice. Ah, it feels great. That's only about maybe a quarter throttle. That accelerates fairly quickly. I'm really impressed, guys. I really like the Civic Insight. The Honda Insight. It is a Civic. It's a Civic hybrid at the end of the day. This really is. It's just a Civic hybrid with a different front end and a different back end. It looks a lot better. I think they should do the same thing to the Civics. When they do a mid-model refresh, I think they should graft this front and the rear end onto the Civics and call it a day. I think it looks really good. But yeah, guys, I'm really enjoying this thing. Again, big thank you to Honda of Hackettstown. They're an awesome dealership. They have a ton of these. They're getting them in. So if you're interested in one, give them a call. I'll put the number down below so you guys can go ahead and do a test drive if you'd like. They've just been really awesome with me. I've been hanging out with them a bunch lately, and it's just yeah, I just like to support good dealerships like them, good guys. Do another acceleration here. Man, it's got a lot of torque. Electric motors have a ton of torque, and this is no exception. It's got a lot of torque, and you really don't have to press down on that pedal almost at all for it to kind of go and get out of its own way. It does have eco tires on it, which is why you're never going to get that much traction, but man, is it fun. This is a lot of fun, guys. I really enjoyed driving this thing today to show you guys, you know, what the Insight's all about. I like it a lot. I recommend it. If you're looking for a commuter car that's good on gas, look no further. This is the car to get. Sure, you know, if you want luxurious, you can get the EX model. It has heated seats and a whole bunch of other good stuff. The LX model is the one I would get. It's got the radio that I like, the very simple radio, no touchscreen, nothing crazy. It's got a single zone automatic climate control, which I love. Just set your temperature and it's good to go. It's got this fancy, you know, what Honda's moving to for automatic transmissions. No more shifter. It's just like a little fancy button setup. It's okay. It's got a place to put your phone, and it charges your phone for you. It's got the power outlet. It's got the USB. It's got pretty much everything you want. The seats are incredible. Really cool, guys. Really cool. All right, guys. That pretty much does it here for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching as usual. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.